As you probably know, we engineers work most of the time during night when aircrafts are parked, and for that we need to really good light. And that's why Fenix sent me their brand new torch, which is PD32R. So let's take a look what is inside of the package and if it is good enough for my work. First, let's take a look what is inside of the package. Of course, torch itself, lanyard. Then we can find their battery, which is 18650 with a capacity of 3400 milliamp hours. Of course, holster, USB-C charging cable, 2 spare O-rings, and of course documentation. Light itself is made out of aluminium and it have beautiful black finish. Together with the battery and lanyard, it weighs only 142 grams, and as well it's relatively small. The length of it is only 13.5 centimeters and it is 2.7 centimeters wide. Inside you can find luminous SFT40, which have a maximum output power of 1400 lumens, and this power gives you beam distance of 340 meters. But about this parameter we're gonna talk about during outside test. What else we can find on the light? The charging port. It is hidden under this cover, and whenever you screw it down you can find a charging port and LED. The LED will gonna tell you if light is charging or if it is charged. If it is charging you have red LED, if it is fully charged you have green LED, and charging port is USB-C, which is perfect because USB-C cable you can find definitely all around. Everybody has it for sure. And since we're talking about the charging, this light can be charged from 0 to 100% in 1 hour and 17 minutes. And all what you need for that is, as I said, USB-C cable and charger, which have output 11 watts, because that was maximum with which I was able to charge this light. And whenever you're finished with the charging, you screw again the cover back on. Here you can find one of the O-rings, and whenever you tied it, it will seal, and this helps to keep IP rate of 68. Now let's put battery inside and we're gonna talk about the functions. You need to unscrew the back of the light, and here you can see again the second O-ring, which helps to keep this IP rate. Now when everything is tight we can talk about functions. The light is operated by a single button on the back, which I really appreciate, because when I have light with the button on the side, many times happen to me that I accidentally switch it off during turning or changing the position, the light switch off. Here nothing like that will gonna happen, because it is first of all protected by those two notches, and most of the time hold light like this or like this. Now the function itself. The button is very quiet, you almost don't hear it, and when you press it hard the light will switch on, and then you changing the output power by gentle press. So we have low, medium, high and turbo, and whenever you switch off the light and just tap the back, you get momentarily light, and when you lose it the light will switch off. Then whenever you hold the button it will switch on the strobe function, then you need to press it again. That's more or less all about functions. Then you have this clip which helps you to hold your light on your belt, or if you don't want it, you can simply remove it, which is a good feature as well. And then we have a holster in which you can keep it as well. You just slide it in and you can have it on your belt ready for use. That's more or less all about theory. Now let's take it outside to see how it performed there. Before we start, I will place a table here with all parameters about this light, so I don't need to go through it. If you want, pause it, take a look at it. If you did that, we can continue. Let's go again through the all modes. So whenever you press it fully, you will switch on the light. Then you tap the button, you are changing the mode. You have 4 modes. You have low, medium, high and turbo. Then whenever you just tap the button, you get light momentarily. And whenever you press this button like this, it will use the last mode which you use during normal operation. So whenever you switch on the light, you put it to medium, high. Yeah, we have a high. You switch it off, then you press it momentarily and you get high mode. Then of course you have a strobe function, so whenever you hold it, you can have a strobe. What I found as disadvantages on this light: whenever you get close to some object, the beam circle is quite small. So whenever you're doing some area check, it's better to combine this light with headlight or some sort of floodlight, because this is not really great for area view. Then what I see as a disadvantage is huge jump from the high mode, which I'm using most of the time, to turbo. This is 350 lumens to 1400 lumens, and that's a huge jump. I would love to have something in between, like 800 or 600 lumens, because yes, of course, with the turbo you can see into the distance, you can see details, yeah, but I would really love to have that mid mode, because another disadvantage is that when you have it on turbo, the light get very easily hot, and during winter is fine, but now when we have outside 20, 25, 30 degrees, it can be a bit discomfortable. But other than that, for my job, for walk around, and I use it for the whole day, it was perfect. But I combined it with the headlight, of course. So that's what I think about it. If you use it together with the headlight, it's a perfect light, because if you want to see something on the tail, you can clearly see, even though sun is rising slowly, but you still can see. Another thing is that when you try to put the torch with the lanyard in the pocket or in the pouch, it not always fit. But yeah, from time to time you need to find a way how to put it in, because when you just grab it, try to put it in the holster, it doesn't really fit. You need to find proper position how to put it in, and be really careful with this switching in the pocket, because really if you leave it in the turbo, it can burn through. Literally, it can burn through. So be really careful with that. But yeah, the holster is good. Just with the lanyard, it's a bit harder to put it in. Yeah, sometimes you need to fight, which I don't like, but whenever you find the right position, it just slide in easily. But yeah, you need to play with it. That was outside test. Now let's talk about the pros and cons. For me, this light is a huge power in small package, which is great. As well, it have dual spring function, which means that it will never accidentally switch off when you jump from somewhere or you shake your hand, so it will always remain on. Then for somebody it can be a really good feature, the silence button. For me, doesn't really matter. I work in a really noisy environment, but for some people might be very important. And as well, what is good, you can buy several accessories for this light, so it will be even more helpful for you. What are disadvantages for me? Especially I miss the lock mode. Whenever you carry in your pocket and you have something solid there and it will push against it in your pocket, it can accidentally switch on. Even though you saw that when I was putting it in the holster and again, you see it's a bit struggle. When I put it in the holster, from time to time it switched on. And this might happen that you have it on your back, you sit in the car and it just switch on thanks to belt lock or whatever. And if you leave it in turbo mode, it really can get hot and it can burn through. So this is one of the disadvantages. Second, again, as I mentioned during the outside test, I don't like the jump between the high mode and the turbo. The 300 from 350 to 1400 lumens is a huge jump. I would like to have, as I said, something in between, because not every time I'm able to see everything with the high mode, and turbo is too much, if you know what I mean. But for somebody it can be good, but for me this is a small disadvantage. And the last disadvantage for me is the small circle. When you are close to some object, like in my case was landing gear or landing gear wheel bay, the circle was very small, and as a backup I've been using a headlight, which was basically my floodlight. But those are only 3 disadvantages which I found on this light. The last, and I think the most important question is how much this light cost. Well, directly on Fenix webpage I found it for $79.95, and on European page I found it for €79.50. If it is too much or not enough, I leave it on you. For me, you get a great light with a 5-year warranty for reasonable money, and output power and all the accessories which you can buy for it, really worth it. So for me, this is a really good light, and I'll be more than happy to using it during my daily life. This is what I think about this light, but of course I would like to know what you think about this light, and I would like to hear even if you have any other products from the Fenix. If you have a good experience or bad experience, write them down in the comments so you might help the future buyers. And with this information, I would like to say thank you for your time, and see you next time. Bye.